How to program your mind to transform your reality. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Justin Hasell and I'm a mindset coach and author. And if you'd like a free copy of my book, Effortless Abundance, or if you'd like any one-on-one coaching, please click on the link in the descriptions below. Okay, so how do you tap into this powerhouse called your mind? I mean, how do you finally understand how your thoughts create your reality and get it to work for you rather than against you? Well, stick around and by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do. And in topic 1, I'm going to cover how reality is just mere potential until observed. In topic 2, I'm going to cover why the quantum field responds to consistency and coherence, not just wishful thinking. And in topic 3, I'm going to cover how the superconscious mind interacts with your reality. You know, most people think reality is something that randomly just happens to them every day. But what if that's all backwards? You know, what if reality is not solid, not fixed, not even fully formed until you actually engage with it? Quantum science has now revealed something that mystics have whispered for centuries. And that's the universe is not passive. It responds to how you think. And the most powerful force interacting with it is consciousness itself. I know it sounds weird. In fact, it was Neville Goddard, the famous author and mystic, who stated, man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. Okay, so topic 1, reality is potential until observed. One of the most shocking discoveries in quantum mechanics is this. At the smallest levels of reality, matter does not exist as solid things. It exists as probability waves. You know, particles don't have fixed positions. They exist as potential until something or someone observes them. In the best-selling book by Pam Grout, E², she states that quantum physics tells us that the invisible energy realm, the field of potentiality, is the primary governing force of the material realm. It's the blueprint that forms reality. In other words, the universe is made of nothing but waves of particles of energy that conform to our expectations, our judgments, and our beliefs. And when observation occurs, the wave collapses into a particle. In simple terms, reality solidifies when it's observed. And in the famous book, A Course in Miracles, it advocates the idea that consciousness creates the material world. In other words, we humans decide in advance how we're going to experience life. Now pause and think about this. You know, if observation collapses potential into form, then what is the most constant observer in your life? Well, it's your mind. It's your attention. It's your assumptions, your expectations. And most people unknowingly observe life through fear, through past conditioning. And I wonder why reality keeps confirming these patterns, because what you focus on, you will attract. You see, the reality is you don't get what you want. You get what you consistently observe and expect. In other words, your focus is not neutral. It's actually creative. Even the two main fundamentals of physical reality, which is space and time, are not what they seem. They are actually optical illusions. Okay, so point number 2, the quantum field responds to coherence or consistency, not just wishful thinking. And this work is not about just positive thinking. It's not about affirmations alone, and it's definitely not just about forcing beliefs. The quantum field does not respond to words. It responds to coherence, your vibrational frequency. And coherence means alignment between your thoughts, between your emotions, between your identity and your expectations. And when these 4 are aligned, the signal you send into that field or into the ether is clear, stable, and intentional. And when they are fragmented or contradictory to each other, the signal becomes noisy and the results are inconsistent. This is why someone can say they want abundance, they want success, they want freedom, yet emotionally they expect struggle, disappointment, or loss. The field doesn't respond to the spoken desire, it responds to the emotional expectation beneath it. So your emotional state is not random. It is feedback from the identity that you're operating from, and identity is the real attractor. So you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are being. As Pam Grout explained, subtle energies, thoughts and emotions and consciousness play the starring roles in our life's experiences. But because they're invisible forces, we rarely attempt to understand or use them in our favor. So to change the world, It's simply a matter of changing your expectations and beliefs. To bring something into the physical world requires focusing not on what we currently see, but on what we expect to see. Most of us unconsciously hold a grudge against reality, mentally rehearsing what we don't want, reinforcing old stories and emotionally validating past disappointments. And this keeps us locked into the same outcomes. But this isn't a flaw, it's a habit. And like any habit, it can be changed through conscious, deliberate, and consistent inner alignment. When coherence becomes your new normal, the field has no choice but to respond. This leads me to topic number 3, the subconscious mind as the interface with reality. Now let's get a bit deeper, because this is where most explanation stops short. Between your conscious thoughts and the quantum field lies a neutral ground that few people ever intentionally develop or understand, and that's a superconscious mind. If the conscious mind is the thinker and the subconscious mind is the habit former, then the superconscious mind is the director, the coordinating intelligence that interprets reality and decides what is possible for you. It regulates your intuition and inner knowing. It stores deep identity level beliefs. It orchestrates perception and meaning. So your superconscious mind is not analytical. It doesn't reason. It doesn't debate, not in words. And this is why most profound insights you've ever had didn't come as sentences, but as sudden clarity, a knowing, a feeling, or a mental picture that felt true before it could be explained. And this is why imagination is not fantasy. Imagination is the language of the superconscious. When you imagine something vividly, especially with emotional intensity, you are not pretending. You are communicating directly with the level of mind that governs perception, behavior, and opportunity, recognition. The superconscious does not distinguish between something vividly imagined and something physically experienced. It only asks you the one question: is this real to you? When something becomes real at the superconscious level, it begins to reorganize your internal and external world automatically, not through force or effort, but through resonance. Your perceptions shift, your decisions subtly change, your behavior aligns without willpower, and you notice opportunities you previously overlooked. You move differently, you respond differently. From the outside, it looks like luck. From the inside, it feels natural. And this is why manifestation is often misunderstood. You don't attract what you want. You don't chase outcomes. You don't bend reality through strain or repetition. You become congruent or aligned with the reality you desire. Congruence means your thoughts, your emotions, self-image, and your expectations are in coherence. And when that happens, the superconscious mind treats the outcome as inevitable and begins aligning your inner and outer world accordingly. And this is also why emotional regulation is critical. Emotion is what tells the superconscious what matters, what is important, and what should be prioritized. Chronic fear, doubt, and unworthiness signals instability. And this is why self-image work is non-negotiable. Your superconscious mind always acts in accordance with who you are, who you believe you are, not what you say you want. It will never move you toward a future that contradicts your identity. The future you desire does not arrive simply because you hope for it. It does not respond to effort alone. It does not obey surface-level affirmations. It arrives when your internal state matches its frequency. When that alignment happens, reality doesn't resist you. It just responds. And here's the truth that most people are never taught. You're not a victim of a random universe. You are a participant in a responsive one. In every moment, you are broadcasting a signal. You're broadcasting this through your focus, through your emotional baseline, through your identity, through your frequency. The question is not whether you are influencing reality or not. The question is, are you doing it consciously or unconsciously? Because when you master your inner world, the outer world must reflect it. Not because of hope, but because of law. The coincidences that we see in our lives are just energy in the field of potentiality at work. Most of the time we employ energy accidentally, totally oblivious to the fact that what we think, say, or do makes a difference. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and also download my free ebook below. And if you like one-on-one coaching, also please click on the link in the description. Peace out. See you in the next video.